outlets today. I don't feel at all prepared, but my friend Jim is coming soon and he knows a lot about electricity, so I want to have these done so he can look at them, tell me I'm not going to burn the place down. So what we've got are these lights that go flat in here. The outlets we've got are the kind that sit on top of the wall because I'd like to put them in places that are a little more space conscious, that I don't have to embed them in the wall all the way, mostly because the wall is going to be completely covered up. So it'll just be easier if the outlets are on the outside. And then we're going to move the sink, which is going to be a big deal. So it's a big day, and I hope we can get done what we want to get done, and that I can figure out what I need to figure out. And that's just another day on the bus. I know this looks like a hot mess right now, but we're going to put caps on the end of these wires and a bunch of electrical tape, and then we'll leave them sort of hanging out here, waiting for somebody who knows what they're doing to take a look and make sure that we aren't electrocuting everybody. But we're getting there. Should I ever decide to convert a school bus again, which really I think one is pretty much plenty for me. But if I ever do it again, I will hook the wires on the lights to this juncture box for the lights before I put the ceiling in, because I am now going to have to do the wires and then find a place to hook this to by feeling around in the ceiling. And it's doable. There's one right here that I can hook to, but it's definitely gonna be a pain in the ass. Not stunning, but I think that should be safe. It's in pretty well encapsulated and stuffed into the box with lots of electrical tape anywhere that we could have an exposed wire. So I think the box is ready for inspection. So after this thing's been inspected, then I can hook it up and put the lights in, and that'll be nice. I'm tucking all these boxes up out of the way just to wait until we're ready to move on, but they're looking okay. We moved the sink to in front of the bathroom, so that's great. We left the top off so that it'll make it easier to plumb and things, but the space is kind of filling up. Okay, the thing about these wall-mounted outlets is that they need a wall to go onto. And as I've said too many times before, most of my walls are going to be covered. So I am adding 1x4 little trim bits in between some of the windows so that I can attach the outlets to them. Okay, here's the plan. The windows are held in with these screws, and in order to do the trim, I'm just going to take the screws out. I'm going to put a 1x4 covering this window sill, and then I'm going to use a little bit longer screw, put the screw back in, holding the 1x4 in, and hope that works. Now I've done it on this side, and of course the problem is measuring, and it took quite a number of times for me to actually get the measurements right. And even so, I think this top one is not as sturdy as it could be, but it's sturdy enough. We have a switch. I can turn the lights off and on and off and on. Well, I could if there was electricity running through any of these wires, but there's not, which is a good thing since they're still a bit exposed. But I wired my first switch. I'm out of propane, so I'm done for a little bit until I can get that refilled. So what we have finished at the end of this week's video is we've got lights wired, a couple of outlets, and a switch. And so next week, the goal is to finish the outlets and maybe get the garage built and put in the circuit breaker, which would be very cool. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, see you next week.